Technology has always played a role in higher education, impacting how we transmit knowledge and how we think about the knowledge that we transmit. This is not new. Let's take a historical look. Medieval universities, aided through technology like their ability to disseminate the written word, emerged as centralized entities in which the learned were clustered together to transmit knowledge to those who sought it. Students in this model were consumers of knowledge that academics produced and controlled. Through medieval universities, technology entered a relationship with epistemology and pedagogy and what would later become learning theories. And while there have been adjustments to this relationship, the fundamental paradigm has not changed. Today, we retain centralized brick-and-mortar institutions premised on a hierarchical consumption-production model. Students come to colleges to be educated by those within our academies who produce and disseminate knowledge, and who decide what constitutes legitimate knowledge and how it can and should be known. Within the walls of the academy, knowledge is regarded through a paradigm of scarcity. It is a commodity to be guarded, protected, and curated, given only to those who've been carefully selected to receive it. Until now. Technology is expanding exponentially, and ready or not, we in education are called on to participate in revolutionary changes. One small part of this revolution is distance education and the integration of web-based technologies into our classroom. When we utilize these technologies, we participate in micro-transformations that alter the way we produce, consume, and transmit knowledge. And we participate in macro-transformations that alter the educational paradigm. Let's take a look. Perhaps the greatest change is that when the walls of the academy fall away, they take with them limitations on learning imposed through time and space. When and where can learning take place, as measured by a clock and a calendar, are no longer a concern. Cyber learning communities can be comprised of students from around the world who draw from their physical and cultural location and contribute their perspectives to the classroom. Through cyber learning communities, learning can take place anywhere and can be ongoing and endless, and students can come, go, read, watch, contribute at any time. Think what could happen if learning and knowledge acquisition was in service of localized problems with immediate global input. If solutions could be implemented, tested, and refined, generating new knowledge for the very next class. Imagine that as students in Montana are ending their day, students in China and Australia are just beginning. And so students in the same class can participate in the global weaving of a knowledge tapestry that is cyclical, continuous, and geographically and culturally inclusive. Education in the 21st century is thus not about the academy anymore. It's about the primacy of connections between learners, who co-produce knowledge generated in the context of application, intentionally drawing from and contributing to a wide range of academic ideas, traditions, and knowledge. This is a description of transdisciplinarity, aided in its birth through permeable knowledge boundaries that remove the silos within which academic knowledge has existed, maximizing our ability to bring every theoretical, practical, philosophical, and methodological tool possible to bear on real-world issues. These changes shift our role as educators. We literally move from the front of the classroom where we profess pre-produced knowledge to become a voice within a community of active, engaged knowledge producers and synthesizers. We are a part of the production and the consumption of knowledge, and we share responsibility for its dissemination and application. Students who are actively engaged in problem solving and information generation are not passive receivers of knowledge that we think is important. They're instead active learners who produce and consume knowledge, directly contributing to global change. And this is a good thing. A recent study by the Jobs Foundation found that 86% of students who drop out of high school actually have the grades to pass. But they drop out because they're not engaged, not connected to a vibrant learning process that's relevant, immediate, and important. The price of disconnection, measured in terms of human capital and lost potential for change, is high. But we've known this for decades. John Dewey, the father of modern education, knew this 100 years ago. Dewey believed that schooling was unnecessarily long and restrictive, that children should come to school to do things, while they lived in a community that gave them real guided life tasks and challenges that fostered their capacity to contribute to society. Interestingly, while we participate in change today that alters the learning paradigm, shifts the learning environment, and transforms educational structures, we simultaneously envision and enact educational ideals that Dewey imagined more than a century ago.